Hello, this is Paula at the Barkman branch, and this is Paula's Picks at Barkman. So today I would like to read you a book called My Friend Earth by Patricia McLaughlin and illustrated by Francesca Sanna. And I'm reading this with the permission of Chronicles Publishers. My Friend Earth. My friend Earth wakes from a winter nap. She hears the busy spring sounds, the farmer's hoe tap-tapping in the garden, the caws of crows. She sees the little, the silent seed, the spider spinning silver, the robin and the wrens, the little ones. She sees the large, the long-winged albatross crossing the sea, the mole tunneling in the underdark. She guides the chimpanzee to her night nest. And the zebra baby to find his mother in the hundreds of black and white striped zebras. She tends the prairie where sun-dappled wild horses run through grasses that swish against their legs. The tundra, where the reindeer graze for moss, and the glistening ice where the young polar bear pads on mittened feet. See the ice down in the hole. She guards all the creatures of the oceans, the black manta ray sleek like shadows, the shiny parrotfish, the tiny krill who swim with millions of other krill to look big, and the whales who are big. My friend Earth pours the summer rain to fill streams, flowing down mountains, through the fields, to the rivers, to the sea. Sometimes she pours too much rain, flooding towns and meadows and roads until she dries the land. Sometimes she blows fierce autumn winds, sweeping the limbs of trees and shingles from the roofs of barns, until she stills the wind. So red and orange and yellow leaves float to the ground. When cold comes again, my friend Earth sprinkles the snow, whispers silence, covering the dens where the baby black bears are born in soft darkness, drifting over the icy pond where the turtle sleeps in mud, settling into the empty nest of birds. Under the white, the silent seed is cradled in the dark soil, watching, waiting to fly up again in the warm, bright sun of spring. My friend Earth. Now let me read you a second book, probably couldn't hear me down there. It is called Paper Planes by Jim Helmore and Richard Jones. And I am reading this from permission of Peachtree Publishing Company, Incorporated. Paper Planes. Mia and Ben were the very best of friends. They lived side by side on the edge of a great wide lake. They sailed together and swung and sang together. But what they loved doing most of all was making planes. In the winter, Mia and Ben would race their planes with the geese above. And in the summer, they would climb into the hills and toss their planes down below, watching them glide home. Mia and Ben were determined to make a plane that could fly all the way across the lake. but it wasn't meant to be. Ben had terrible news. He was leaving. His family was moving to a new home a long way away. Mia and Ben were crushed. How could they stay best friends if they were so far apart? They promised to never forget one another, and they swapped planes as they said their goodbyes. As the days passed, Mia missed Ben very much. She thought of him way over the sea and wondered if he was lonely too. Winter came again, but when the geese returned this time, Mia had no one to race planes with. Hot tears fell from her eyes. Mia and Ben would never make a plane that could fly across the lake now. Mia took the plane Ben had given her and smashed it to the ground. She went to bed feeling hurt and angry. That night, as moonlight crept across her bedroom floor, Mia heard something. Was it the wind? No. It was the sound of distant geese calling and powerful wings beating. Mia crept out of bed and spied something odd with her telescope in the garden below. Why, it was the plane she smashed, as good as new. Mia hurried outside for a closer look. The swish and chatter of the geese grew louder, and a wild wind began to blow. As the wind whipped around Mia's plane, it grew big enough to climb in. Suddenly, a huge gust whisked Mia and her enchanted plane into the air, up across the lake and away. Climbing at terrific speeds, Mia joined a flock of geese. Their silver feathers gleamed in the light of the moon as they rushed through the night. Up ahead, Mia spotted something familiar in the distance. Could it be? Yes, it was Ben, waving and smiling. Together they swooped and skimmed and soared. Mia wished she could stay here forever. But as the sun began to rise, she knew it was time to go. And in the beat of a wing, Mia woke up and found herself back in her bedroom. At breakfast time, a package arrived for her. Inside was a brand new plane, but it didn't have wings. There was also a note. Dear Mia, I really need your help to finish this. No one else can make wings like you. Love, Ben. It's from Ben. Mia remembered her dream with Ben and the geese. Ben might be far away, but that didn't mean Mia had lost him forever. So she sat down at her table and got to work on the wings Ben had asked for. Mia thought of the geese with their long necks stretching and their wide wings beating. And over the week she worked, and she worked, and she worked. In the springtime, it was finally ready. Mia fixed her wings onto the plane Ben had sent her and went down to the water's edge. She threw the plane up in the air, and it soared higher than any plane she and Ben had never made before. Mia and Ben could still make planes together, the best planes in the world, and they would always stay friends. For now, not even an ocean could keep them apart. That was called Paper Planes, a very good story about friendship. Now let me read you one more. Excuse me, I need to take a drink of water. Thank you. This one is called The Paper Kingdom. It's another paper book. It's by Helena Q. Ree, and it's illustrated by Pascal Campion. The Paper Kingdom. Mama and Papa were night janitors. While they got ready for work, Daniel got ready to sleep. Tonight he was so very tired. He snuggled into his bed in a corner of the apartment. Suddenly, bring! Mama answered the phone. Oh, I see. That's okay. She walked over to Daniel. You have to come with us, little bug. Too sleepy, Mama. I'll wait for Auntie Clara. That was Clara. She can't come tonight. Can I stay upstairs with Dwayne's family? No, we asked them for too many favors, Papa said. Then I'll stay here by myself. I'll be good. Papa shook his head and helped Daniel change out of his pajamas. Their old car sputtered as they drove to Mama and Papa's work downtown. The big glass building always looked angry. It seemed to say, "Stay out." "Can't I just sleep in the car?" Daniel asked. But Mama and Papa said no. They hurried Daniel inside and waved at Sam, the security guard. "Hello, Daniel," said Sam. "Wow, you've grown. Soon you'll be as tall as me." Daniel doubted he'd grow to be as tall as Sam. "I won't tell anybody he's here." Sam winked at Mama and Papa. "Thank you, Sam," Papa said as they got in the elevator. Daniel was so tired he felt like crying. "When can we leave?" Mama and Papa didn't answer. From a big closet, they got brooms, mops, sprays, vacuums, and buckets. So many tools. Daniel sneezed. "Why is that stuff so dirty?" "Because they keep the kingdom clean," said Mama. Daniel was confused. "What kingdom?" "The paper kingdom," Papa said. "Didn't we tell you before? This is the land of the paper king." "The paper king?" Now Daniel felt awake. "How come I never saw him? Where is he?" "Let's go see," Mama said. "Maybe he's in the throne room." They went to a large room with a desk as long as a banquet table in a castle. A tall chair stood behind the desk. "Looks like the king has gone to bed," said Papa. "Let's clean up for him." Mama picked up paper from the floor. Papa emptied the waste basket. "Why so much paper?" Daniel asked. "It's the paper kingdom, remember?" said Papa. "The king checks all the papers, and if anything has a mistake, out it goes." Papa vacuumed. Sometimes he stopped to wipe his forehead. "But why do you have to clean the kingdom?" Daniel asked. Mama dusted. She sneezed as she worked. "Shh," said Mama, looking around. "Don't upset the queen." "Where is she?" Papa led Daniel into the hallway. "She's usually over there, and she's the busiest of all. She sends paper to everyone in the kingdom." Mama dusted the queen's shelf. Daniel took a canister from Mama's cart to water the queen's plants. "Let's check out the bathroom," Papa said. "I don't have to go yet," said Daniel. "I know," said Papa, "but let's make sure dragons aren't hiding there." "Dragons?" Daniel scooted behind Papa. "Oh, don't worry. They work for the king," Papa said. "They're small and friendly, but sometimes they hide because they're afraid." "Of what?" Daniel asked. "The king," said Papa, "and maybe the queen." When they got to the bathroom, Daniel was glad no dragons were there. Papa cleaned each stall. "Maybe they're in the kitchen," Papa said. "Dragons love to eat." The kitchen was dark and quiet. "Smart dragons," said Mama. "Guess they won't get caught today." Papa turned on the light. The kitchen was a disaster. Mama wiped spills, picked up trash. Papa swept the floor and straightened tables and chairs. Sometimes Papa rubbed his neck, and Mama sneezed. "Why are dragons so messy?" asked Daniel. "They should pick up their own trash." Mama said, "Maybe they ate in a rush and forgot to clean up. They don't mean to be naughty." "But why do you have to clean it all?" It made Daniel hurt inside to see Mama and Papa clean such a huge mess by themselves. "Not fair. I'm going to yell at the dragons." He angrily threw a banana peel in the trash. "No, little bug. Only the king can yell at the dragons," Mama said. "You know what that means." Daniel shrugged. "Someday you'll have to be the king," Papa smiled. "Then you can sit in the throne room and tell the dragons to be nice and neat." Daniel liked the sound of that. "Can I see the throne room again?" Daniel sat in the tall chair. He closed his eyes and imagined a kingdom with small dragons who picked up their litter. In the castle, papers were piled high. In the throne room, the chairs seemed to reach the sky. "Remember, little bug," Mama whispered. "Remember to be nice when you become kings. The dragons work hard too. She hummed as she wiped the windows. Daniel didn't realize they were home until he felt Mama tuck him in. He snuggled into his bed in a corner of the apartment. He thought about the paper kingdom. He decided if he became the king someday, he wouldn't yell at the little dragons, but he'd make sure they cleaned their mess. That way, Mama and Papa wouldn't have to. That was called the Paper Kingdom. Now I have a little craft. Here is one of the red dragons. Oh, I had him upside down. So what you need to make this craft is, let me get my stuff, a cardboard tube. And you need big pom-poms. Let's see if I can see them. But then two big pom-poms, I should say. But then also 2 little pom-poms, 2 Google eyes, and paper, some colored paper of some sort, whatever color you want your dragon to be. I chose green this time. And then either crepe paper or tissue paper cut into strips like this. Then what you do is you're going to cover the cardboard tube with paper. I started cutting it. A good thing to do is make it longer than the tube, and I'll show you why. I'm going to finish cutting this. Roll it up, then glue it. Oh, and I have my glue and my scissors too. You need that too. And usually you have to wait for the glue to dry a little bit for it to stick, but I'm going to show you. I'm doing it. Hope that it sticks while I show you this, because this is really neat. Then you don't have to glue the entire paper to the tube. So see how it was too long? So now I can push the paper in to the ends. And that way it's exactly the size of the tube. And there's my tube, all covered pretty fast, huh? And then you want the 2 little pom-poms to go on the end, the one that is his mouth, because that's like his nose. And then you want the 2, oh, do this first though. Make sure that you glue the Google eye onto the big pom-pom. The big pom-pom is for the Google eyes. And I just flipped that Google eye up. But there it is, glue that on, and then you want the big pom-poms with the Google eyes on to go in the back, the other side of the paper tube, like my red one. There's the big ones, there's the little ones. And then glue your strips inside. Oh, and I don't know why I picked green strips. I should have picked red and yellow and orange. Looks like fire. And then you have your little dragon. And thank you so much for listening to the stories. Join me next time. Bye.